My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. And this is a very valid question. With mass eviction upon us, do you think people will vote this November? The establishment surely thinks so. That's an interesting question. Is the 28 million evictions that are like looming, is that going to motivate more people to vote? Is that going to motivate more people to take to the streets? A combination of both? Or what? I don't know. But you ask a great question, and there's somebody who answered it quite well, in my opinion. I want to show this. So we showed what Ice Cube said about after the Democratic convention. Ice Cube basically said, "What's in it for us? What is going on? Why should the black community just automatically give their vote to the," because he said this, like, right after the Democratic convention. He said, well, all right, Trump's gone. Now what? That's the thing I've said. It's all of us on the left really said, okay, I don't like Trump. I'd like him to be gone. But you get Biden in there, then what? And the Democratic convention, well, there were two Republican conventions. Basically, the Democrats had a bunch of Republicans on their convention, and the Republican convention. And neither party offered like policies, platforms. They just said, the Democrats said Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, and had a bunch of Republicans come in and say Trump's not good enough for war. And then Trump just said, Marxist, social, Antifa, bad, scary, stay scared, white America, stay scared, scared, scared. So you ask a great question. What is going to happen with all these evictions? I don't know. But just vote and just vote for what? And I never tell people to not vote. I always think you should vote. I think there's all the local elections. Those are harder for the deep state to rig, and little ballot measures and stuff like that's going on. Like I just talked about, Alaska put Jesse Ventura, the Alaska Green Party. Nobody saw that coming. The deep state didn't go infiltrate Alaska and prevent that. They didn't know that was going to happen. So what I think you should vote, because there's local ballot measures and tax measures and all these things that affect you more on a daily basis than whoever's in the White House is going to. But your question about the looming evictions is a big one. It's a big one. But here's what Ice Cube had to say. And let me just share this. I want to, so you can see it, because this is a valid, it's a great question. And here's how Ice Cube responded to it. So he writes there, voting for nothing makes no sense. They don't just want your vote. They need your vote. So tying into your question about if people are getting mass evictions, they might just vote. They should make an angry, they should scare the powerful with their vote. And this is what he said. It's had over 500,000 views.
Me, Ice Cube, here to talk to my black folks. I just want to be straight up because there's a lot of messages going out about this election. First and foremost, anybody telling you that you gotta vote, that it's your duty, that you have to exercise the right, and that people died for you to vote. For one, people did die, but nobody walked out their house to go die for you to vote. They were killed by probably some racists that don't want to see us get anything. But what I'm saying that to say this: be skeptical of anybody telling you to vote and not telling you to ask for anything, or to tell you to just vote and not to get anything for your vote. That's not how it works. That's not the process. You don't vote just to vote. You vote because you're getting something or your community is getting something. So everybody that's telling you that, man, look at them and say, what are you getting? Because people that just want you to vote and not ask for nothing, people that's in power that want you to vote but don't want you to get anything or not asking for you to get anything economically, they suspect, straight up. Because a lot of people been in place for a long time and we ain't got shit. That shit gonna end. That shit gonna end. We gonna get what we supposed to get. Period. And anybody asking you not to ask, I wouldn't listen to them. Because that's the process. Every community asks for what they want. And we're going to do the same goddamn thing.
It's all good. Oh, I love Ice just preaching, man. And look, he's saying the thing that we've been saying, that I've been saying on this show. All of us lefty progressives have been saying this thing. The vote any blue will do. When I heard that a year ago, I was like, you're out of your mind. Telling the Democratic Party, I'll give you my vote no matter what, gives them zero incentive to do what you want. He puts it so plainly, so simply. What do I get? Ask for something. He says economically, like exactly. You get my vote just because Trump bad, Trump, Russia, Trump. Fuck that. Okay, Trump's bad, Trump's awful. Great. I want Medicare for all. I want student debt forgiveness. I want free college. I want to end all these bullshit wars. I want a green goddamn New Deal. Because you know what? California is on fire. My state is on fire. Oregon is on fire. Washington is on fire. There are mass evictions happening right now. And the media is covering it, but they refuse to talk about climate change. Oh, the fires are bad. They just talk about the sort of what's happening, you know, on a moment by moment basis, which that news, that is relevant and that is important. People need to know that fires are moving here. The evictions are happening. If you live in these areas, you need to know this. Okay. But they refuse to talk about this was caused by climate change. So you want my fucking vote? Joe Biden that said middle ground on climate change? You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get my vote. I want free healthcare like they have in dozens of countries, over 20 some countries, and they've had it for 60, 70 years. They've had it since the 40s. Like that's almost, some of countries, they've had it for 80 years. Like that's what I want. Like Ice Cube says, I want something. We want something. I want you, City of Los Angeles, to stop giving the LAPD 54% of the operating budget that comes from my fucking tax dollars. I want that. And back to your question, Sharif, great question. Should people, if they are going to vote, they better say, well, I'm facing eviction. I don't want you can't evict me. I want this 6 months of not being able to pay rent because you told me I couldn't work because of COVID-19. I want that wiped out. I want you to just erase that the way you've erased for all of this corporate debt from Wall Street and Goldman Sachs and all these fucking companies that are being propped up. Companies that have mismanaged their money. Hertz, United, whatever. They've mismanaged all their money. We're told as regular citizens, you should have 6 months of savings to weather an emergency. None of these corporations that have billions of dollars of profit had 6 months of savings. So I want to get bailed out. You want my vote? I want to get bailed out because if I get evicted and you don't help me, you don't get my vote. And when I take to the streets, I come to you. I'm going to come outside your office. I'm going to come outside your $1 million home, Nancy Pelosi. So the people that are getting evicted, they're going to take to the streets because they're going to be living in this. They're going to have no other choice. And some of them might vote. And if they do, I hope they take the approach that Ice Cube just took. Just giving, once Biden is in office, if you just gave, the Democrats, they have once they're in office, they have no incentive. Oh, we'll move Joe Biden to the left. Really? Nobody moved Obama to the left. He didn't fucking move to the left. He went to the right. He admitted in an interview, I'm more like a Republican. He said that. Bill Clinton didn't move to the left. Bill Clinton, he got rid of Glass-Steagall in 1999, his last couple of months in office. While everybody was screaming about, a cocktail dress and Monica Lewinsky, he just very quietly got rid of FDR era banking regulation. Getting rid of that in 1999 helped create the crisis of 2008. The one that took my home and 6 million other people's homes. So Obama didn't go to the left. Clinton didn't go to the left. Jimmy Carter was in office only one term, and he was pretty left anyway. So who was before him? LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson didn't go to the left. He ramped up bombing in Vietnam. He didn't go to the left. We didn't pull him to the left. JFK didn't even finish one term. He was talking left. He was talking anti-war. He was talking and they put a bullet in his head. Oh, I'm sorry, a magic bullet that swam around from a guy that didn't even know why he was arrested. Truman didn't get pulled to the left. He dropped bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He got us into the Korean War. Oh, FDR. We pulled FDR to the left, the guy that was already on the left. And even he saved capitalism. So this ridiculous fantasy that will pull Joe Biden to the left is the dumbest thing. There is literally not one single historical example, as I have just outlined, of a Democratic president getting pulled to the left who got elected on a centrist platform. Never happened. So all these evictions, and if Trump's worried that all these evictions are going to happen before the election, he might just write some stimulus money and give it to these people so they don't have to do it. They don't have to get evicted. Or he'll just put a stay of execution. This is what he's already trying to do now with that CDC thing. Is just a political tactic. But if people are out on the streets before the election, that's the other thing. They're going to both... Trump's going to really try, and they're going to try to prop stuff up, but they can only prop this up so long. Thanks for supporting the show. Like, share, subscribe, folks. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. It's a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. You can also donate at Venmo, Graham-Elwood. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. All great ways to support the show. Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice.